Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa, and this is Budgeting Over 40. So, as you can tell from the title of this video, I am going to be going in and closing out week number 3 of my December 2023 budget. And then after that, you guys will only have one more week in the year 2023. So, if you're interested in seeing how my money went, stay tuned. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you are new to the channel, welcome. It's good to have you here. Stay a while, take a look around. If you are not new, welcome back. It is lovely to speak with you guys again. We're just going to jump right in. So, we're going to first take a look at our transaction log and we're going to go over the transaction that we had for week number 3. So, let's scroll down. So first up, the week is starting on the 17th and it's running from the 17th to the 23rd. So the first transaction of that week was a credit card payment to my Apple Card for $2.12. Then I charged some groceries and household goods at ShopRite on the 18th, $267.29 for groceries, and there was $15.17 in household goods. On that same day, I stopped at the gas station and got fuel for the car for $40. On the 18th, I also sent $10 over to my personal fund, which is a little savings account I have with Credit Karma. It's nothing big, it's just small amounts that I'm trying to, stash away. And also on the 18th, I paid my Apple iCloud storage for $2.99. I went to CVS on the 19th and I picked up some household goods for $10.91. And that same day, I went to Stop and Shop for groceries for $8.97. On the 20th, I sent my daughter some fun money of $15. And then I got paid on the 20th, which I usually get paid a couple days early. My paycheck was $2,357.32. And then on the 21st, hubby sent over $800. On the 22nd, I made a credit card payment to my Capital One number 1 card for $500. On the 22nd, I also made my lending club payment for $1,059.22. Then that day, I went to TJ Maxx and I spent $20.96, and Marshalls that same day for $151.36. And these two charges are for some clothes I needed because I am going on vacation in T-minus 5 days, and I needed to get some additional stuff to take with. So these two charges were on my Apple Card. And if you guys do remember, if you've seen my videos before, in column A over here, I am notating what card I'm using. If there's nothing noted, it's because it came directly against my checking account. Okay, so on the 22nd, I also paid what I would say this is the last bit of my minimum payment for my auto loan for $311.23. And then we went out for a squad dinner for my coworkers and I. Our job paid for the dinner, but we picked up the tip. So we all pitched in $20 for tip. So that was a $20 payment. On the 22nd, I also had gone to Walgreens. I picked up some hair gel. I think this was some hair gel. I need to get my hair done, and it was for $7.58. I paid the babysitter $250. I gave her a little bit extra for Christmas. We're not really big into Christmas as in gift giving, but we did show her our appreciation for what she has done with us, with our kids. Hubby did transfer $50 in on the 22nd. On the 23rd, this went against my Capital One number 1 card, my Netflix subscriptions for $24.97, and my Geico car insurance payment for $243.82. Then I went in and I made another credit card payment to my Capital One number one card for $400. And I made a payment to my Apple Card for $300 also on the 23rd. So far, those are the only transactions that I had for week number 3. So let's go in. What I'm going to do, and if you've, like I said, if you've seen my videos before, I'm going to go in and I'm going to check off what was paid against my checking account. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cover some expenses with the payments that I've made to the credit card. So the payment for the Apple Card and my Capital One number one credit card came from my checking account. So that money is gone. And if you're not understanding, so once the money is out of my hands, whether it's paid to a bill directly, whether, like my lending club, my auto loan, I check it off, it's goes green, and that money is gone. If it's paid to my credit card, that is also gone. So once I check them off, I know for myself that that money is no longer in my pocket or in my bank account. Okay. So, the money Hubby transferred in is in my account. The babysitter is against my checking account. This Walgreens transaction was a cash account, a cash payment. The squad dinner was also a cash payment. My auto loan was against my checking account. My lending club was against my checking account. My Capital One number one payment was also from my checking account. These two income transactions is cleared. The fund money of $15 was against my checking account. And the Credit Karma personal fund was also against my checking account. So let's see. All right, I think that's all that went against my checking account or cash. So now what I end up doing, that $300 payment that I made to my Apple Card, I went in and I allocated to different transactions that was charged to the card. So let's go in. So I paid the ShopRite expense, the ShopRite charge here and also here. I covered this iCloud storage and I also covered the CVS. Okay? So that $300, when I check off some of the transactions, it leaves me with $3.64. But we'll leave that be. This is something I will make some additional payments to cover the rest of the charges, and that's how we'll work it. So this $400 payment that I made using to my Capital One number one card, what I ended up doing was allocating that also to a couple of transactions that was already charged to the card. So you guys, if I sound a little raspy, it's because I am still battling this terrible cold. So my voice do crack a little bit. I'm sorry for that. So I did cover with that $400 payment. I'm going to cover this eating out and Popeyes. I'm going to cover the payment, the transaction at the Gap. And let's see. And I did go in before I started recording and see what I needed to use these to cover. I'm going to cover this Gala Fresh grocery and I'm going to cover the Best Buy. Okay. So remember now, that was the $400 payment. It left me with $11.04. There is no transaction for $11.04. So I'm just going to leave that until I make another payment. So the $500 payment, let's see what I covered with this one. I did cover the Shell Mart here. Then I'm going to cover some of the earlier transaction up top. So let's see, the BJ's I did cover. I covered this CVS here and this other CVS here. I'm going to cover this Speedway And the next one up is this ShopRite. And that takes me to the top of the transaction log. So week number one, I am almost up to covering everything. So this $423.22, I do have money put aside to cover this. I'm waiting to see if I need that cash to do anything else before I send it over to the card. This 145.02, there is a refund to that charge because I did go to BJ's and BJ's there was a double charge and I got the refund for $34.53. It's gonna come out of this, so that's gonna leave me $110.49 to cover out of this transaction. Okay? So in week number two, I still have a ShopRite charge to cover and the orthodontist charge to cover, and that's it. And in week number three, I have a Shell charge to cover, I have a Stop and Shop charge to cover, and the TJ Maxx and the Marshall charge. Netflix and Geico is from the other card. So those payments, those transactions that I covered with the $500 payment leaves me $1.86 that I don't have a particular transaction for $1.86. So I'm just going to leave that amount. So you guys, that's all the transactions for week number three. Let's jump into the budget and see how we did. So total inflow that we're working with rollover was $954 from week number two. My paycheck of $2,357.32, $850 from hubby. That's a total inflow or income of $4,161.32. In the savings and sinking fund section, I only sent $10 over to my personal fund. There's nothing being done in the giving section yet. That's something that I'm going to start in 2024. The monthly bills and expenses section, I only sent money over to the subscription, and that was budgeted for $27.96. In the variable section, I went over on groceries, you guys, and like I've mentioned in my other weekly check-ins, I have blown my grocery budget out the water. So I budgeted $150, but I spent $276.26. My household goods budget was for $25 for week three. I spent $26.08 over budget. Eating out, I budgeted $25. I spent $20. Not bad. So total spent $322.34. In the transportation section, my auto loan came in at $311.23. My auto insurance went out for $243.82. It was budgeted in week number two, but I paid it in week number three. Fuel, budgeted $50. I only spent $40. I am over budget in the total transportation section for $595.05. In the kids section, I sent $250 over to my babysitter. That's over budget. I haven't sent the money yet for my child support. Fund money was $15, which is not in the budget, and total spent $265. In the personal section, I only spent $7.58 out of the $10 budgeted for personal spending. Clothes and shoes, which was not in the budget, I spent $172.32, and that's a total of $179.90 spent. In the debt loan section, so this is a kind of a weird thing. Lending Club wouldn't let me or allow me to pay a half a payment or to make a half a payment. So I had only budgeted $530 to pay for this week because I had already set aside $530. But because I couldn't make the half a payment, I had to hold on to the money. So the full payment for $1,059.22 came out in week three. So it's showing over budget, but that our other monies was already set aside. So total spent in the debt section was $1,059.22. In the debt credit card section, there was nothing budgeted, but I had to cover all the expenses that was already charged to the card. So I sent $900 over to my Capital One number one card, and I sent $302.12 to my Apple card. So that's a total of $1,202.12. So let's summarize. I brought in $4,161.32. I spent a total of $3,661.59. And that leaves me in a positive. Yes, in a positive, very positive. It's good to be positive, you guys. $499.73. So that amount will roll into week number 4. So, you guys, this is a good feeling. This is a very good feeling. And one thing I asked you guys to do in my last video was to leave me a brown heart. And trust me, I was blown away by the amount of hearts that I received in that video. Thank you guys so much for that. So this time I'm going to ask you guys, since it is Christmas Eve, and I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas, I would ask that you leave me a Christmas tree in the comment section, just so I know that you stuck around till the end. So you guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. If you have not subscribed to the channel, y'all, please subscribe. Come back for more. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss my new uploads. My name is Melissa, and this is Budgeting Over 40. You guys have a wonderful Christmas. Bye, guys.